and good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Julie Michael. I'm pleased to be here and hope... Thank you. Now you can hear me okay? Great. I hope to convey to you the importance to the community of retaining the retail commercial zoning for Barton Street. As team lead for Gala Hub's Barton Action Team, I was able to work with the city as well as our neighbouring hubs on this Barton-Kenilworth commercial corridor study. Working together with neighbouring hubs, we created a shared vision of revitalization with stewardship and inclusivity, which is important in helping to ensure that everyone has a say in the shaping of our neighbourhood. This was informed by an informal survey of the neighbourhoods connected to the Barton corridor, which revealed 90% of neighbours surveyed supported a revitalization of Barton Street. A revitalized and thriving commercial district generates walkability. It was walkability that allowed my grandmother to be self-sufficient a lot longer than if she had to depend on a car. These neighbourhoods were designed for walkability, which a vibrant commercial district will create once again in our neighbourhood. Local small businesses will again be the engine that generates jobs and will advance the local economy. Shopping in our own neighbourhood will support inclusivity, and walkability will strengthen community for all our neighbours. This builds on that informal connection, which is the strength of our community. Our goal is to create a vibrant, engaged community where neighbours can live, work, shop, and raise their families without requiring a vehicle, much like the community my grandmother and yours probably lived in. Thank you for believing in Barton Street.
Thank you.
I believe that Barton will become a vibrant and committed community. Barton will become a vibrant, safe, and committed community compiled of athletic, residential, commercial, professional, such as doctors, lawyers, public buildings, for example, with a transit system morally advanced, completing a community where families would be proud to live, work, and play in a safe, vibrant, and committed community. Thank you.
Thank you. If I could just ask that you stay at the podium, I may have some questions or comments from our councillors, and I do have two councillors on the list right now, Councillors Marula and Morrow.
Well, thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. And let me first start off by thanking you for your involvement in this particular study. As you are aware, Bernie Morelli, the Barton Street corridor study itself is his catalyst and legacy. And it would not have happened without him. And with his support, I was able to include Kenilworth Avenue South, or North. So it's important to me, and I know to this council, that this study is not only is the data important with the study, but the implementation of it to make it become a reality. And the only way we can make this a reality to you, Mr. Deputy Mayor, is by people like yourselves who are engaged at the grassroots level, directing us accordingly. And I want just to publicly thank you, and I appreciate it.
Councillor Morrow.
Yeah, I want to add to those comments. Thank the folks for being here. And I hear quite a few people clapping up there. That's great, too, that everyone is
There's
here,
a lot of interest in Barton Street.
urging us on.
Yes.
And there are signs of dynamism and life in the Barton Street area and in Barton Street itself. And many predict that it is the new frontier, as it were, having seen such success stories on Lock Street, James Street, King East, and other parts of the inner city that were challenged for some time. And that's exciting. And I think the desire for commercial use has been well expressed at the public meetings. I've had the privilege of attending a couple of them in the last few months, and following on the work, as Sam said, Bernie Morelli and his initiatives, and the support of people in the community, the Gibson Lansdale, and we are blessed with some wonderful neighborhood groups that are dynamic and well organized, and I must say very sophisticated in their approach and their I think it's going to pay off for that part of downtown Hamilton and the lower city. I want to put in a bit of a pitch for, and I'm not obstructing anything that they are suggesting at all, far from it, but the residential side is important. Intensification of population is important. One of the exciting things across Ward 3 is new people coming in, seemingly more families with young children, which is great for from any objective analysis. I have one little area that is building a little park because of the community dynamism and interest. So the residential is very important, and to have people, I think part of the secret of success downtown is more people coming in, and we can see this with the developments taking place, new condo developments and apartment developments all over, and that is so important that we not become terribly crowded, but I think there is room for increasing the population, and that's what we refer to as intensification. And we want to do it well, and that means more shoppers and more life on the street and all the other things the city can do, two-way conversions, other things that I believe help the street life and assist in the livability of the older parts of our city. So I'm excited about this. I'm looking forward to the report coming through and the planning process, and most importantly, listening to find people like this who do have a message that we should listen to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Julie and Jerry. I have no further questions. At this point in time, I need a motion to receive the presentation moved by Marula, seconded by Councillor Morrow. All in favor? Carries. Thank you. Next, I'm going to call upon Cindy Stout and Tammy Burt from the Crown Point Community Planning Team respecting 8.2, the Barton Street Initiative.
Good morning, or after, yeah, good afternoon. Cindy can't be here, she had to go to work, so she tried to last as long as she could. My name is Tammy Burt. I'm the co-chair of the Crown Point Community Planning Team, and I just wanted to talk about the process that took place with the Barton and Kenilworth Commercial Corridor Study. Having been a part of the Crown Point Planning Team since it began, I know how much time and work it takes to create networks, to build relationships, and to establish trust. And it's important to us as a community to have authentic engagement with our neighbours, and that means engagement that takes the time to sit and listen to one another so our voices collectively shape our community. The process for this study was limited in the beginning. As we went to the businesses on Kenilworth specifically, they were not interested in coming to a public meeting, hadn't been there before, disinterested in wasting their time, quite frankly. They perceived that would be what their experiences had been before, which it seemed like they entered into a meeting where the decision was already made. But with much work and time, with the leadership of Tony and Julie and these teams, we went back to the businesses, encouraged them to come out because we wanted them to be a part of the conversation. And over time, they did come out, they did participate, and I think there is restored hope for some of the businesses that vibrancy can occur for both their business, but also the street and the community. But that had to do with all the outreach work of these teams. So great work, guys. The process got stronger. Oh, yes. We should take the time for that. The process did get stronger near the end, where there was time given to us to do that outreach with our community. So also thanks to Alan Waterfield, the senior planner for this study, who walked with us and gave us that space that we needed to do diligence in connecting with the neighbours and the businesses to ensure they understood what was happening so that their voice could also be included. So thank you for that, Alan. Muchly appreciated. And then on behalf of the Crown Point community, and I think I can speak for Gala and Sherman and all the rest, we look forward to future city plans and consultations that start with that authentic engagement of listening to our neighbours' voices. Thank you.
Very well said. If I can just ask if you want to stay at the podium, I do have
Thank you.
Councillors Marula and Morrow.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor, and thank you, Tammy. Your engagement is incredibly enthusiastic and one that I appreciate not only as a councillor but as a neighbour of within the Crown Point neighbourhood. And I do have to emphasize that the Kenilworth study is unique, as I mentioned earlier. When Councillor Morelli had initiated the Barton Street initiative, I thought what better way of trying to capture the mystery of Kenilworth in that it's sandwiched between Ottawa Street, which is incredibly successful, gone from literally 30% vacancy to almost 100% at this point. It's vibrant. And from my perspective, it's just baffled me that with the Centre Mall redevelopment, largest inner city redevelopment in all of Canada, that Kenilworth, for whatever reason, wasn't seeing any resurgence. I believe personally that Kenilworth Avenue North is the most undervalued property in all of Ontario, to be quite frank with you. And having said that, from a neighbor's perspective, I think it's important, as you've mentioned, to become involved, because the businesses themselves, I think in the past, in trying to get BIAs, an example, were not interested. And even when given the opportunity to have the same incentives as a BIA without having a BIA, there was very little interest as well. And really, I think the bottom line is this: we have a lot of landlords that are absent. We tackled and targeted a lot of illegal housing, which should be commercial. And through you, Mr. Deputy Mayor, from your perspective, Tammy, I know that together we can do this and ensure that we can reverse the toxic environment within those illegal establishments. But what are you hearing from those businesses and those people that are using those buildings illegally in your conversation with them?
Well, good question. When we went door to door, we didn't get into every business. The ones that were active and that welcomed us, we listened to them. And again, I think it takes them a while to figure out, is this something worth spending my time getting into? Will whatever these decisions get made help my business to thrive? So I think it has been a slow process of getting them to even care. But there are many now at the point saying, yes, we want to contribute to beautification of Kenilworth, to parking issues. And for the ones that we could not get into or that seem vacant or we think that there might be things going on, we don't know where they stand because we weren't able to converse with them. So, yeah. And
that's exactly the point. And where I'm leading to with the parking issue, the city just reinvested in a brand new parking lot in the back. We put meters in, we beautified it with flowers, but it's going to take tackling those absentee landlords in an aggressive manner as we have as a city at the OMB, but continue forward in ensuring that they're accountable, because at present they're invisible and we need to target them. And I need your help as well as the Crown Point team, and I can do it.
We're on it.
Thank you.
We're with you.
Great. Thank you for that, Councillor Morrill.
Yeah, I again echo what's just been said, and the Crown Point West is in my ward, I'm proud to say, and I think the same issues pertain here, so I'm very appreciative of your work and what you've done, and look forward to great results in the future. I know they're going to be there.
Thank you for that, and thank you again for the presentation. I need a motion to receive the presentation, moved by Pearson, seconded by Morrill. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. Next on my list, I have Elizabeth Seidel from the Pipeline Trail Planning Team respecting 8.2, the Barton study. Good afternoon, Elizabeth.
Hello.
Thanks
Thank
again
you
for your patience.
Oh, I had some paper. Yeah, I have a handout. Thank you. Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and I'm part of the Crown Point planning team, and actually leading my own team, which is involved with the Pipeline Trail. I have a little story I'd like to share with you when I first moved to Crown Point, which was actually last year. On our way back from a walk from Centre Mall, we were caught unaware by a rainstorm. Unprepared, our umbrellas were packed. And so a lady was passing us. She was on a mobility scooter, and she handed me a rain poncho so that I could cover my daughter. It was really unexpected and immediate response from her. And so to me, this story characterizes a walkable, healthy, and inclusive neighborhood. As team lead for the Pipeline Trail team, I'm here to voice support for the Barton-Kenilworth Commercial Corridor Study Report, with an emphasis on advocating for the requirement for retail commercial at grade on Kenilworth Avenue between Barton Street and Roxborough Avenue. Our team is making an effort to connect walkability, beautification, and healthy active living. access, and a vibrant commercial corridor are key components. Green spaces and public spaces encourage people towards creative activities, and walkability has a positive impact on people's health and the health of a community. Beautification of urban spaces makes people feel good and welcome, and that makes them want to stay, which is good for business. And all of these elements of a community are intermingled. We are working towards enhancing the Pipeline Trail and connecting it where it crosses Kenilworth Avenue by adding a safe crossing and a parkette. A vibrant trail with safe access will bring people easily to Kenilworth Avenue for brunch, banking, a manicure, and even a trip to the library. Slowing down the traffic would encourage the walkability and enhance the cycling experience. Through the efforts of the Kenilworth team, we have connected with many of the business owners on Kenilworth Avenue who have shared their stories with us as to how it used to be and what it might become. And some have expressed concerns for the future, but I think that together we can build upon our assets to create a walkable, healthy, and welcoming commercial corridor. And one day, when I'm the lady on the mobility scooter, I hope I have the presence of mind of our welcome wagon. Thank you. And a rain poncho, yes.
Very well said. Any questions or comments for Elizabeth's presentation? Councillor Marula.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Many thanks for the presentation. I believe we have a meeting set up with respect to the plan that master plan we're putting together with respect to the pipeline park. And I look forward to bringing that to fruition with Cynthia Graham, who will also be in attendance. And if you attend my public meeting on September 11th, we can expand
I will be there.
that. She will be there to expand upon that as well.
Great.
So I can assure you and commit that your vision is going to be implemented. We already have the budget allocated as well, which is discretionary. So your work will come to fruition. And I thank you very much for your grassroots approach collectively with the Crown Point team. And I look forward to making that happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. I have no further questions or comments. Motion to receive Elizabeth's presentation, moved by Councillor Power, seconded by Councillor Pearson. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next on my list is Tony Lima. Is Tony still here? We are on 6.8 right now under delegations, and I will ask later in the when we conclude the delegations for 8.2, I'm going to ask Council to move it up in the agenda so the presenters can hear our decision and the discussion that takes place. Tony, my apologies if I've mispronounced your last name.
Oh, no, perfectly, actually. Thank you.
The floor is yours.
Hello, my name is Tony Lima, and I'm a resident of Crown Point and the lead for the Kenilworth team. I would like to introduce the team's third document for submission to the public study and speak to its background and purpose. In our Crown Point Neighborhood Action Work Plan 2013-2017, there is a goal that is dedicated to the idea of having a vibrant local economy with many small family-run businesses. There are also a number of objectives that follow from this goal. One of the objectives is to transform Kenilworth into a vibrant commercial district. Currently, the Crown Point Community Planning Team has a resident-led action team that is dedicated to this goal and to working with the city on the public study to help with the revitalization of Kenilworth. In the revitalization efforts, the team has been engaged with other local residents and business owner-operators to ensure that the changes that occur in or their neighborhood will be of benefit to us all. In our efforts to collaborate with adjacent neighborhoods, we also wish to ensure that the changes will be a benefit across the neighborhoods. As well, in our efforts to work closely with the city, we wish to ensure that the changes are a benefit to the greater city of Hamilton. Overall, the process of having a resident-led action team from the neighborhoods engaging with other local residents and business owner-operators in the neighborhoods is meant to yield better outcomes in the revitalizing efforts. In outcomes, they are meant to most benefit the local neighborhoods that are most affected by a decision in the decision-making process. Following from this background and purpose, the team has adopted a vision that promotes revitalization with stewardship and inclusivity. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Councillor Marula, you wanted to speak?
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. And Tony, let me take this opportunity, sir, to truly commend you, your enthusiasm, your hard work, dedication, because second to none in the Crown Point community from my perspective. And I can assure you that I think everyone in the room would agree, and I want to give you a round of applause.
Thank you.
Tony, as you know, when we established the hubs, the neighborhood hubs in East Hamilton and in the city for that matter, we did so with the vision of a grassroots up approach. In the past, that used to be considered ward healing or would have been considered parochial, which I've been labeled and criticized for many years. Now suddenly it's become progressive and actually what's being welcomed. So I welcome that change in perception. Having said that, with your involvement and your continual contact with me and updating me on the continual progress and problems, I must say, throughout the process, not only helps me do my job at committee and council, it helps me do my job as your neighbor and councillor. And for that, I appreciate your time, and I thank you very much, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Tony, for your presentation, and we really appreciate your patience this afternoon through this morning. Councillor Marula, a motion to receive Tony's presentation, seconded by Councillor Morrow. All those in favour, carries. Thank you. Okay, next on my list, again with the Barton Street, Kenilworth Avenue commercial study, I have Chantel Compesian and Alex Georgiavich, I think. Again, I apologize if I've mispronounced someone's name. Throw me for a loop here with some of these. I neglected to add that you're both, I assume, from Indulgence Spa and Salon.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yes. Thank you.
We are currently producing a documentary on the street of Kenilworth Avenue North. We've been we've been on part of the community action planning teams and whatnot, and we went through to the NLI and we've got a grant for the production. So here's a bit of what we have. Okay, well, that's all right. What we have here is a video of Kenilworth, and it's just showing the, the current condition of it. We would like to invite everyone, councillor members and community residents, business owners, to get involved with the project. We've also started a Kickstarter campaign. So if you'd like, you can email kenilworthfilm@outlook.com and set up interviews or be part of the project in any way. Yeah.
Councillor Marula.
Now, are you with Indulgence or are you with the production company? Or
we're with Indulgence Salon and Spa, and we're also working with the Crown Point Community Planning team.
Okay, so are you?
So it would be me. I would have my own guerrilla production company.
Okay, but who have I been dealing with at Indulgence? Or with you? Okay, well, okay. Well, pleasure. And congratulations. I believe it's 6 years now? Or is it 6 years? Congratulations. And Mr. Deputy Mayor, just for a point of clarity, It takes individuals and private sector small business people such as these individuals to make a true difference. And their vision will be, they will reap the benefits for their vision down the road. Having said that, if anyone does have an opportunity to travel to Indulgence, it really is a Manhattan-style studio within Kenilworth Avenue North. And for that, I commend them, and I appreciate their input. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further questions or comments to be made? Hearing none, I need a motion then to receive the presentation this morning. And if there's an opportunity maybe for you to send us the small clip, Madam Clerk.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I have pulled the clip off of her USB and we'll put it on the online as well as email it out to all
Great.
members.
Thank you very much. Very appropriate. Thank you. So
Thank you.
motion to receive. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. Thank you again for attending today. Councillor Powers?
Like Councillor Marula, I have absolutely no problems being parochial. So if indeed he'd like to take us for a walk along Barton Street in the Kenilworth area and that, I think we would welcome that opportunity.
Actually, that invitation is always open, and we'll schedule it with Councillor Morrow.
He can do Barton east of Ottawa.
Barton is his part. Kenilworth is my section only, but having said that, Councillor Morrow and I will arrange that accordingly.
Oh, great. Thank you for the suggestion. Next on my list, 6.10, Stefania. Stefania still here to present? She had to leave. Okay. 6.11 is Matthew Green. Is Matthew still here? Matthew had to leave as well.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, Matthew did leave.
There was something distributed
a
to us.
handout.
Yep.
It's marked 6.11. He wasn't able to stay.
So we can receive that
Correct. You can
as a
receive his
presentation
Yes.
in his absence. Moved by Councillor Partridge, seconded by Councillor Powers to receive that correspondence from Mr. Green. All in favour? Carries. Thank you. Then in order to best accommodate the delegates, may I have a motion to move 8.2 up on the agenda so we can hear from staff and entertain the motion? It's been moved by Marula, seconded by McCaddy. All those in favour? Carries.